Welcome to part 3 of the Duramax C10 swap. Hopefully this will be the finale. But we've already been over here this morning working on the bed frame. We'll have a wood bed sitting right on top of that. And I've been working this morning on getting the filter brackets fabricated, and they're all fabricated and hooked up. I just got to weld them, spot weld them to the floor, and then we'll start putting some drive shafts together here. This is the Duramax pieces, and this is factory C10. So somehow I'm going to have to adapt that down to that. All right, so that worked out well. I've got that piece slid up in the Duramax drive shaft about a foot. And you seen earlier, I wrapped duct tape around in 2 places until it fit tight in there. So that centered it up fairly well. And what I did is I bent a piece of round stock around that, and it fit up in there just about perfectly. So I was able to weld around that round stock. Okay, been a few weeks since we've actually made any progress on the Duramax swap, but we've been working on it today, and I've got the radiator hoses plumbed, top and bottom. Kind of hard to see. Got the overflow tank in, started tidying up some wires under the hood. We got the new grill shell in, and the intercooler and the radiator are all mounted together. We got all our intake put together, and our turbocharger line here is put together. We got a couple of proper clamps ordered for this. So once they come in, I'll change these clamps over, but that's all I had for now. I just had to lengthen some things to make it all work, but yep, it is coming along. Had a kid come in and start doing the brakes on it. He's got his master cylinder on and bled, and I think he got this side of the brakes done. And let's see, what else can I tell you? Yeah, it's a slow go, but that's a lot of plumbing coming out of the front of this thing. Like I said before, the hood will never shut. So we're trying to come up with some kind of idea of either some kind of cowl induction or just a big hole in the hood. We don't know yet. But that'll get us rolling. I still have to put the fuel lines on for the injectors. Here's the injector line kit. And then I think I maybe showed you that we did get the wood bed in it. Fuel tank and the batteries are up under here. So yeah, that's all I got for you right now. Our goal was to get this thing running and driving this week. So we got 2 more days, Friday and Saturday. So hopefully very soon we will drive this thing out of here. Hopefully. I'd say give her a shot.
I need to give it a little spray.
All right. fluid. I mean, we did lose a lot of fluid. Well, we're over here on this Duramax C10, and I've been fighting this thing for a week. We've had it running, but the transmission would not go in gear. It would not go in part or reverse or drive. It would stay like it was stuck in neutral or something. I mean, the shifter will shift, but it just will not go in gear. But I took all the wires and grounds and checked them all today and unplugged the transmission, unplugged the computer, plugged it all back in, checked all the fuses, and cranked it up, and it decided to go in gear. So somewhere I must have had a bad connection. Maybe at the ECM, the engine control module. Our metal guy, he is going to build a hood for it. He's down the road, and so today was the last day that we had before he gets it. And I mean, I've just been praying that we would finally figure this thing out, and I think I have. I'm gonna crank it up here in just a little bit. I still got a few things to clean off of the truck, but it seems to be ready, I think. It's kind of high in the back right now. We had to put tall springs back in it just to get it ground clearance in the back, or actually drive shaft clearance, where it goes through, where the drive shaft goes through the loop. It was sitting so low that the drive shaft was hitting the top of the loop that it goes through. So I had to get the back end off the ground just to get that working. So that's where we're at. Hoping this thing's gonna move and drive so we can get another video out there to you. All right, you guys, let's see what happens. We finally got this thing moving. I went through a reset procedure, and I think that's the key to it, maybe. Okay, so let's go for a drive and see if this thing shifts. It's got 6 speeds. So hopefully she'll shift through all those gears, maybe. Might have to shift it manually. Something ain't right. Probably the transmission's got to reset. All right, so it's cold out here today. The Duramax swab has moved on to our metal guy, and he is building a hood. I think I've already said that, but the transmission, we finally did get it to shift into gear, drive and reverse, but that's all we got. And it will not change gears as you drive it. 6-speed, and I think it's starting out in 3rd gear. I think that's limp mode, something like that. But a lot of thinking going on, a lot of I think. But so we're probably going to have to, well, not probably, we are going to have someone with a scanner that's a little more detailed than the one I have to get in there and see what's going on. It's probably because we did not move any analog brake stuff over from the ambulance chassis, and some of those speed sensors have to communicate back and forth with the transmission. So that's probably what's going on. Somehow that's going to have to be reprogrammed or something to fool that module into thinking that it has an analog brake system, or however they do that. It's above my head. So that's going to be it on that truck for a little while. When we finally get it back and get a good test drive on it, we'll show that in a future video. But for now, we've got some other upcoming projects that we're going to start on. Right here is a top kick Chevy 4500 series. It's the Duramax, and it has the Allison transmission. And dually rear setup. Now that body is going to come off, and there's going to be a Kenworth body to sit on it. This old Kenworth here will be the one, the cab and nose. I'm not going to let that hood down at the moment, but this old cab and that nose will sit on that 4500 series over there. Anyway, this one will sit on the top kick over there. So look forward to that series coming soon. And then after the top kick Kenworth swap, we'll set this down on something. It's GMC. I think they said it was a 50 something. I can't remember. But that'll be in a future video. But until then, we're gonna work on this Chevy here. This is 68, a 67 or 68, we weren't sure. Let's see, what is that? A 90, Chevy 90 series. And it's really solid body. We're doing all new brakes on it. And fuel tank, fuel lines, carburetor, HEI distributor. It's an inline 6 that hasn't run since 97. I guess that's about 25 years. And but the motor's free. It's not locked up. So there's the new carburetor. But she's crusty. We've got a battery hooked up to it. We've already spun the engine with the battery, so I'll show some of that. So that should be the next upcoming video, is kind of a will it run. We used to not do the will it runs, but I guess one every once in a while don't hurt. Well, we do will it runs all the time around here, but we never video them. It's just kind of overdone on YouTube. But that's what's coming. Appreciate y'all watching, and I hope y'all continue to hang in there with us. I know we don't post very often, maybe once a month. It's maybe I get to the point where I can show something every week. We'll just see what happens.